Hi everybody, today I want to share with you what in my opinion is one of the best setups for working and studying. Okay, let's say that it's not actually studying, but it's more of project making and working. But I mean, it could be useful also for studying. Let's start by presenting the protagonist of this setup. First of all, we find my MacBook Pro. This is a 2022 MacBook. I think it's the smaller one, so it should be around 13 inches. And then the new entry, my 2024 iPad Pro M4. Let's start by talking about the ecosystem of Apple, which is one of the best working thing ever created by human. No, apart the joke, this is a video about my personal experience. I haven't tried Windows or any kind of other ecosystem, but I think that Apple is doing a great job about this thing of sharing, but also creating some features that are useful to work at the same time with many devices. So, let's get into the setup. The main feature that we find by working with these two devices is to share the screen. With the screen sharing, you have the chance to work not only at your house, at your office with two screens, you also have the chance to bring this kind of setup everywhere and work with two screens, which is something important for many jobs that you have to do, but also for many students, such as me doing architecture. It's one of the best things to have two screens because you can see on one side the drawing you're doing and on the other maybe a reference, maybe some kind of information that you may need. But let's say that it's not useful only as the two screens, but also as a drawing board. I have a Wacom drawing board that I use with my Windows PC when I was in middle school, so it's a very, very old kind of device. I tried to link it to the MacBook, but it was impossible because it's not only an old device, but also Wacom it's a little bit, or at least it was not so friendly with Apple. Or maybe it's just the Wacom I choose that is not the best. But I mean, it used to do a great work with my Windows PC. Anyway, with our iPad, we can share the screen and we can actually draw on the iPad and see what is happening on the screen. Or we can use it directly as the latest technological drawing board in which we see actually on the screen, but we have the programs that we can use on the Mac. For instance, it happened many times that I had to work on InDesign or on Illustrator or even on Photoshop, and let's say the version that we have on the iPad are not the same that we have on the PC, for both the precision but also for the kind of commands that we can use. This kind of link between the two devices is something essential for an architecture student, as a design student, or someone that has to work with this kind of tools. And about this feature, the beautiful thing is that it's very easy to link the devices. We don't have to pass codes from one device to the other. It's just about going into the control bar and look for the screen mirroring, click on the screen mirroring, and if the iPad is already on, we can directly click on the name of the iPad and boom, we're connected. Also, I think this is just my case because I bought the iPad Pro with the nano texture. It is very useful in the open space. It happened many times that in my school I used to work outside where the sun was directly on the screen. And so with a Mac screen, we don't have the chance to see very well when the sun is sitting on the screen directly, while on the iPad with the nano texture it is. Also, the resolution of the image and the vividness of the colors with the nano texture are something completely different. And this is essential for people working on the PC, on something that has to be printed. Other than this, we can also mention the fact of the document sharing. If you have a cloud, and of course you will have it since you have an Apple product, when I write something on this iPad, on pages on this iPad, it automatically transfers it to the iPad. And for a student, it is very important. The fact of having the devices updated with the right notes, for instance, it's at the basis of the organization. Well, you can tell that I'm Italian because I keep doing gestures. If you are a creative person and you keep vlogging your days or your travels with your phone, you have them directly into the iPad gallery where you can edit the videos and make some content very, very easily, very fast. And now let's talk about the prices. I had my MacBook in 2022 and it was around 2,500 euros because I took the version with more RAM memory because it's very important for the programs I use. but it's not necessary, let's say. Even a MacBook Air would work perfectly with this. And then my iPad was the most recent purchase I did, which has been made in 2024, 2025. I bought it during Christmas. Again, it's not necessary to have an iPad Pro M4 because, already this kind of device is the equivalent of a MacBook. But again, for the things I do, it was more useful to have this kind of technologies, this kind of power, because of the heaviness of the programs that I use. But it's not necessary to have an iPad Pro like this. Then, last but not least, I want to talk to you about my mouse. It's the best mouse I've ever tried. And I have tried a lot. I once bought the Magic Mouse, but it was not working very well for the program because it doesn't have the... This is a Logi MX Master 3S. It is around 100 euros on Amazon. It has 7 buttons that can be programmed to different action that you can do in the programs and for different programs. It has also this kind of technologies, which is the infinite scrolling, I think it's called, which can be a problem for some programs like AutoCAD. When you do like this, you zoom out and you don't find anymore the project. But anyway, this is also very ergonomic. It is not light, but it works very well. And I think it's one of the best accessories for my setup. Other than this, let's say that the main negative part of this setup is the cables that you need for the MacBook. Because of course we have USB-C and an audio jack, and also the HDMI. We don't have the SD and TF card reader. And also this mouse works with a USB. So I needed an adapter for the USB-C. So I have to go around with this attached to my Mac every time. Which, I got used to it and it's not anymore a problem. This is my personal setup, and these are the devices with which I've been working for 3 years. Of course, I don't always use them together. Sometimes just the MacBook is enough, and other times also the iPad is enough. Also because let's say that this iPad is an actual PC. Like this new upgrade that Apple did included a lot of new features that are making it very close to a MacBook. And the only difference is just the software that they run. But other than this, they have different functions that can work perfectly together, but they can work also individually. For example, if I have to work on technical drawings on CAD, I always work on my MacBook. But if I need a more creative process, I use my iPad. Both for the 3D programs that I can use, but also for the Apple Pencil that allows me to sketch whatever I want. Anyway guys, I hope this video was inspiring for you, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more content like this, and if you want to know any upgrade that I can make about this setup, because I have something in mind, please let me know in the comment. I want to remind you to subscribe and to like this video. And that's it, see you soon.